What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. I am so thankful that I'm here to see you all today on my birthday, 56 years old. And I tell you that I am very much thankful to be here on this earth at this moment in time because I spent half of my life playing around doing this crazy thing we call life of living it selfishly and in all the mess that I have been in, but I overcame it. And I'm thankful that I have people like you all who have come in and given some great words of and wisdoms and some blessings and some, encouragement, that I have had this channel coming in this September for 2 years. Never would have ever dreamed that I would have had a YouTube channel that has opened itself to international for many of people coming in around the world, gaining some wisdom and knowledge, as well as me learning things from so many people. It's a collective effort, family. I thank each and every one of y'all. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Let's get on here. Arif is here again from Liberia. Elizabeth Mary, happy birthday. Wishes to you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Richmond, peace, family. Peace to you too. Crypto Magic, happy birthday at Go Black to Africa. Crypto Magic, I appreciate that right there. Yes, Marsha Brown, happy birthday. Well, thank you very much. Richmond, happy birthday, Go Black. Just had mine on the 25th. All right. Okay, Mr. Leo. Let's see, come on. Michelle Henderson, thank you for the happy birthday wishes, as well as Anya. Anya, happy birthday to you. Love from Windhoek, Namibia. Yes, I hope you was able to see my videos, you all, when I was in Windhoek. Team Crypto, thank you very much again for the happy birthday wishes. America's first rifleman. Respect to Go Black to Africa. Thank you very much, American first rifleman. Yes. Who else we got up in here wishing me a happy birthday? So touched, you all, that I can't, words can't explain. Believe me, can you believe it? I'm quiet. Yes, Ladisi, the goddess. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. What's up, my brother? Peace and blessings, says Reggie Burnett. Honorine, many happy returns. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Stephen Rains, thank you for your birthday wishes. Emerald Life Tours. What's up, Collins? How you doing, brother? I hope all is well with you. Thank you for that happy birthday wishes. Also, somebody told me that they are coming out to visit you there. And so, yeah, treat them right. Treat them well. I'm quite sure you will. Thank you very much. Patricia Matthews, happy birthday. May you live to see many more years. Thank you very much. Guy is it Gua? Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Who else we got up in here? We got K Brown. Happy birthday, my brother. Thank you very much. Dane Osborne, excellent job. Go Black. Enjoy your special day. I sure will. I have. Thank you very much. Peter Tosh. You still around, Peter Tosh? He's playing that jazz still? Happy birthday. Or even Peter was playing reggae and playing all kind of stuff. One day, happy birthday from Canada. First time catching you live. Oh, okay, all right. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Let's see here. Who we got? Okay, that's it right there. But I want to get into this right here. As you all know, I've been here in South Africa for 2 weeks. It has been an enjoyable time. I have met so many beautiful people. I have been to Johannesburg, to Cape Town, to Durban, and I am looking at getting to Lesotho. This is how you put Lesotho. Going there so I can knock that off my list. So I got to take a flight down there. Small country, but I'll be able to learn about some history from the, what is it called? The Fazulu? Somebody help me in that area. Tribe out there? Yeah. Let your light shine, says Thea. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. I know I can't get through everybody, but I appreciate each and every one of you all. So been here in South Africa for 2 weeks. I hope that each and every one of you are to at least extrapolate some knowledge from those who I have been interviewing, those who have been sharing just their views, their opinions, their outlooks, their thoughts, in their experience here in South Africa. I hope that even those who are around the globe, I say that come to South Africa, great place to visit. For some, y'all will find a great place to come live. I'm telling you right here, for those who are used to the Western feel, those who are used to uh, um, the city life, or you want to get out to the country, if you want to get to the beaches, if you want to get, they have everything that you can experience there in America and other countries that I've been to. So please come check out South Africa. I was just on the phone with my son today, and he he had asked me about, how is it out there? Well, I think he said, I think let me read over here. He was really asking about the women, young buck, he's 34 years old, and he wants to know about the women. What them women looking like over there? How do they treat you? So I told him I think this is a spot for him. I think it's a great spot for him. Young businessman trying to find his way. He's finding it very hard and challenging in certain areas of doing his business. And I say, yo, come to Africa. Africa, you can find places here, and you can definitely get further than where you are there in damn Erica. Put the D in front of America, capitalize the E, damn Erica, and you will be able to watch your life blossom. And the reason why I say that is because, we come from a struggle, and many of us have been forced really to get out of our comfort zone, really to get out of our way of killing ourselves when it comes mentally. Many of us have been struggling, and we have been doing the blame game long enough. And a lot of us realize you got to get out here and do it. The government is not going to come save you. The system is not going to come knock at your door and give you opportunities. A lot of people have realized they have to get out there and start doing things themselves. That's the great thing that I like. And then coming into Africa, because many countries I've been to, there's little to no red tape bureaucracy that kind of holds you back and keep you in a place of not prospering as far as you can. Not saying that people haven't gone probably, to what they think as far as they can, but I tell people, how further could you have gone though? Because in America, it's said that the sky is the limit, and I say Africa is limitless. Now, depending on what countries and wherever cities you may be in, may be a little different story. I haven't visited all 54 countries, but I'm here to tell you that you can come to Africa, even some other countries, and prosper what the Almighty has laid out for you. Put you in a place of fruitful land and opportunity beyond the controls by some that may have a stronger hold than other places, because we know there's strongholds everywhere we go, but that you would be able to navigate through, following that light, listening to the voice, to be able to send you a course so you can prosper and fare as well as your children. But one must do the homework to make sure that, hey, as the old ancient writing scriptures and scrolls say, you call it the Bible, but that every man should consider the cost of all things. Yeah. But let's get into the audio that I have here. A young lady I interviewed. Beautiful, beautiful, young-hearted spirit young lady that me and my wife was really left in awe, because here is a young lady who is aspiring and trying to get somewhere in life. She wants to be rich. She wants to have a beautiful car. She wants to have an opportunity to become a doctor. And she feels as though that the way things are, that maybe she's being held back from really getting to that place. And we had an interesting conversation. And what brought on the conversation really was I was playing, the game of chess on my cell phone. And she said, "Oh, are you playing the game there of chess? I said, yes. And I said, you play? She said, yeah, I used to play. It's been quite a while ago, but I used to play. So she started hitting me with questions. Are you the black piece or the white piece? Do you know each piece and how you play? So she was sharing with me that she knows how to play the game of chess. Now, here's the interesting thing I like about South Africa. Their game of playing is chess. Matter of fact, me and my wife went to a restaurant, and this restaurant they had when we got up there to the restaurant, they had these tables just spread out. And when we walked up and got off the elevator to go to the restaurant, in the area, the space, people were sitting playing chess games against each other, like at 9 o'clock at night. Just groups of people, one on one, playing chess. I said, "Wow." That's something new for me because of those who watch my videos, I've been going around Africa. In most African countries, they're playing checkers. And I believe that those who play chess have a total different perception of approach than those who play checkers because chess is a total different game. Matter of fact, it's more complicated than it is for checkers. And when I watch people play checkers, it kind of tells me a little bit maybe about how their mindset is. Not that it's like it's bad or good, but how are you able to go deeper into thought of really having a guide for your life? Because we know in chess, every piece has its own respective play, its own respective direction. And you have to think beyond than 2 to 3 plays ahead. You have to sit and play this game of chess. Stay with me, y'all. I'm talking about this thing live. You have, for those who think I'm talking about chess, y'all know there's gold nuggets in this. You can't sit flat footed in life and just play what they have given you a game to play. Most of the time, games of checkers are played by elementary thinkers. It's a simple game. You just go forward, try to get king, and you can move all over the board. There's not much to it. Chess, though, you got to think. And once you begin to perfect the game, you're able to play speed chess and you're able to begin to think 3, 4 things at a time. This is where we can utilize these mindsets to be able to equip us with the thought of navigating through this system, what we call life, and making sure that you put those who empower in checkmate. Because sometimes in chess, sometimes you give up pieces in order for the long haul of winning the game. They might have a lot more pieces they took from you right now. But when you stay the course, you know the object that I have a plan, a vision of how I'm going to beat this opponent who created this system that we're playing. We're fighting for position. Isn't that life? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's get out of this simple mind thinking and let's go to a higher elevation of spiritual thinking. We sitting around here just playing life like la 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 while the days are going by like this. I'm 56 years old and I'm telling you, time went like that. Unbelievable. I cannot believe how fast time went. Thank goodness I woke up at the age of 28 and started to look at life and study life. I started studying life to find out how can I position myself to live the life I want, not the way they told me I had to live. Go to school, get your degree, go get a job, then you get married and live happily ever after. Isn't that what they told us? Why can't I create my own life? Why can't I create my own vision and I do for me instead of them telling me? That's what I love about the chess game, because the chess game is life. You see, when I used to coach basketball and football, I always told my players, this game is life. Come on, y'all, stay with me. When you're playing American football, because I'm in Africa, football is soccer, what we call soccer. But even then, since y'all are African, you love football. On the field, I tell my team, the field, the court, or what have you, this is called the life world we live in. You come out from the sidelines, right? The sidelines is your house. You got to go into the world and you got to perform in the world, just like football, just like soccer, just like basketball, and everything else. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything is the same. Everything is the same, but different names and approaches and terminology, but it's absolutely the same. You got to get me on this. So, this football field, soccer field, basketball field, whatever field you want to call it, you can play at your job. There are rules. And when you break rules, what does the referee does? He will raise up a flag and give you a penalty, because there's policies and rules that you have to follow. Even those players on the field have bosses, the owners, the coaches. Don't they have to answer to somebody? And while you're in this world, on the field, on the court, on your job, you must perform the way they want you to. And if you don't, they can trade you in, get rid of you. Come on now. So then how then do I perform on the field, on the court? How do I perform on the job and navigating through to make sure that I'm successful? Because I have subjected myself to those who have rulership over me and they have the control of paying me my money. That means my livelihood, my lifestyle is in their hands. How do I navigate through this mess? Somebody said rugby is big in South Africa. It's the same thing. It's all identical. So how do we navigate through? You better know how to be 3 steps ahead than just waiting for tomorrow to come and get that phone call and say, we did away with the job. COVID happened. We have this issue that you don't have no more. Well, what am I going to do? Most of us know how that feels. So this young lady that I'm interviewing, I want y'all to listen what she says. But first and foremost, for those who have been saying, you select who you interview. I keep telling people, I never select. Conversations come up and it's just where it is. And the interesting thing that many people want to say that I'm negative, it's your people who's talking. I tried to ask, tell me about your country, how it is for you. Share me something good. And every time 2 minutes go in, they go right back to the negative, as y'all call it. I look at it as a positive. Why, family? Because you got to understand this YouTube and this media thing. These videos that I am doing are not only for the people, the diaspora who's coming into the country. This can fall into the hands of those officials who may be sitting in seats to hear even their own people's pains. That God will strike their hearts in the evils that they may do. I ain't saying all of them, or for them to look at themselves to see how are they effectively doing by the people in the positions that they said they will look out for. Because everybody talk about the governments being corrupt. And once you hear this rhetoric over and over again from people who keep talking what y'all call negative, and yet it's nothing but the voice of the people, that hopefully, if you are in prayer and speaking into the bosom of the Most High, that these videos set foot into the places that they need to be to open up the eyes and the ears of the people that you claim is supposed to be in the charge of the system, then maybe things can shake, rattle, and roll. But some rather for me to be quiet. Get out of my country. You're not welcome. When it's just your people who are sharing their life experience. Everybody's experience is different. And that's the thing we have to realize. But if we collectively in spirit begin to speak in the bosom of the Most High, I'm telling y'all, things move. It is amazing what God is doing through me and with me here, how much I'm learning. Every day is something new that I see. Wow, my God, Yeshua, is real. Is real. I walked into a jewelry store today, and I was looking for my wife a watch. And they had a sign up there that said 50% off everything. So I walk in there and the woman showing me this thing, South African woman. And she goes over and shows me a watch and says, you know, what about this watch? And I said, oh, that's good, whatever. This is cool, this and that. So I asked her the price and she tells me the price. And I said, okay, that's 50% off of that price, right? And she was like, no. I said, but your sign says 50% off of everything. Oh, but not for the watches. I said, yo, this is false advertisement. She says, no, our watches are 20% off. I said, no, I'm sorry, my sister, the sign says 50% off of everything. You had me stop. I saw the sign. I come in and then you waste my time. So there are two Europeans that are sitting at the desk. One's on the computer, which is an older man, and the other is an older woman that's behind him. I said, who's the owner of this place? She says, oh, he's not here yet. So I said, well, I need to talk to somebody because your sign says 50% off of everything. As I'm saying this, there's another European woman that walks out and she hears me say that. And I looked at her and I said, isn't it? The sign says 50% off everything. Is that not true? She does this right here. This is what she did to me. This is a European woman. Like, she didn't say nothing else. And she said, I'll be back. She went up there and I'm talking to the sister. So the sister, she then goes over to the European man and says, the watches, they're 20%, right? And he says, oh yes, there's 20% off. And I said, how can this be? Your sign says 50% off everything. Well, it's some things. No, you said everything. Everything means everything. Correct. Am I right? Isn't that your sign? So the woman behind him, she comes over and she pulls the sister aside and she says, you say 20%? And she says, yes. And she says, well, okay, good, let me see the watch. So she goes over and gets the watch. By this time, the other European woman comes from the back, the one that says she'll be back. She sees I'm already being taken care of by those two other Europeans. But I sit there and I see her come back, and I'm sitting there like to the older guys, like, yeah, I mean, y'all not going to give the 50%? You're not going to honor the 50% because you said 50% is everything. That white woman looked at me again and she went almost like, stay on them. It's 50% off. That's what the sign says. And guess what? So the sister came back over to me and we went over to the counter and she said, well, okay, the woman, she's going to look up in the computer or whatever and come back over. Now I already know jewelry is marked up like 1,000%. My ex-wife's brother-in-law used to work in a jewelry store and he told me how the whole thing worked because I bought my ex-wife at the time another ring and he took off 50% off of that. And he said, you know, that's a good deal, but you know, they still making their profit. The jury is just like, ain't really what they worth. So as me and the sister from South Africa is talking, the European woman comes over and she says, okay, we will grant you the 50%. Now the South African sister says, oh, Jerry's going to kill me. And I said, huh? Who's Jerry? Oh, he's the owner. Now, why would Jerry kill you when she just told you it was okay? And she said, I'm just joking. Aha, I get it now. Sister, that's what I said to her. Sister, it messes up your commission, don't it? Oh, I said, that's what it is. It's your commission. So then we really started talking, but my point of it is this right here. If you say nothing, how are things going to change? If you don't hold people to the fire of what the so-called right is supposed to be, how is things supposed to change? If everybody zips their lip and go along with the get along gang, how are things supposed to change? Just like I told y'all when I was at the other hotel, They had that European fat woman there, half naked above the bathtub. And I asked, why is this picture on the wall? Let alone it's supposed to be African artwork. And what did they do? They removed it. You see, when you have the power of being right, I'm not talking about trying to stir up problems and cause fights just for your own egotistical way, but we need to hold life, the world accountable for what is right. But we've fallen into a system of lies, and we are so fearful to say nothing. Nobody wants to challenge anybody on anything. If your sign says 50% off of everything, and the sister's telling me only on some things, and the white man said, he said, selected items. I said, but your sign don't say selected items. And I held them to an accountability, hold you accountable for what you, why is it that we aimlessly wander around, complain about stuff, but can't call this world out on its lies? It's because a lot of us don't know about standing on God's righteousness. Because God said, if you stand on righteousness, on holiness, and if you stand on being holy, for I shall open up your path. I shall bless you in your coming and your going. So let's get into this good part here. This interview here with this young lady. And I want y'all to hear, she moved me because I have a heart for people who have no direction, who have no answers. I have a heart for people who are struggling because they don't have hope or faith. And all I can do is pour into them what was poured into me. So let's get into this right here. Let me share my screen. It's only like 14 minutes, but I want y'all to listen to what this young lady said, and we're going to discuss it. And I'm going to open up the mics for you to share what y'all think. You know, not about disagreeing with her and all right there, but let's talk about how do we navigate through these heartaches and pains that we all know that exist within one of each other's lives, that we can go forward. Let's get into this right here. Let me turn this up. Tell me something good about your country.
It's got a lot of languages, a lot of entertainment. It's full of people with full of love, but corruption is ruining everything. Corruption and connection is ruining everything.
Now, let me go right here. For you all who think that I be selective and all that, I'm asking people always in the go, tell me something good about your country. Tell me something good. In just one little sentence, they will say something and then they go to the negative, as you call negative. I think it's the positive. It's good for us to hear. But let's just hear. It's always the people are going to share the struggles. Let's go into it. Let me make sure that I'm still here. I'm quite sure y'all can see me. Can y'all still see me? Because all you need to do is hear. Let me start this again. Tell me something good about your country.
It's got a lot of languages.
Can y'all see me?
A lot of entertainment.
And hear.
It's full of people with full of love, but corruption is ruining everything. Corruption and connection is ruining everything for us.
Corruption is?
In the connections, when you look for a job, it's no longer what you have, it's who you know.
True, I've heard that plenty of times being here.
So, it's not interesting at all.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I did.
You got a degree?
Not really a degree, more like a diploma in analytics and HR.
In HR?
Human resources.
Right.
So why aren't you working in HR?
I don't know anyone there.
You got to know somebody.
As I'm saying, I'm telling you, it's not what you have, it's who you know.
We
Be
should.
it cleaning, be it picking up the papers, it's who you know in the industry.
So you were a server here in this restaurant. Did you have to get this job? You knew somebody?
Yeah, somebody told me there is a job in the end. I have to bring my CV. That person has to keep a good word for me.
Let me ask you this right here, because I find the pay in South Africa is quite interesting.
Pay as in the salary.
Your salary. You turned your head away.
Okay.
What would a server like yourself invite? What do they typically, how do y'all get paid? You get paid by commission? What is the commission you get paid?
Like you want to know the percentage?
Yeah, the percentage. What would a server get paid a percentage?
I'm not sure if this is going to help for me.
It's embarrassing? Is it? 3%. So you make 3% of commission off of the total amount that you did that day in sales
I did for a month.
for a month. What do you typically bring home? The average person would bring home in doing a job like this a month.
Are you asking if, no, what was the question again?
What is the average amount that a server would take home
A month.
a month?
Depends on yourself.
Yeah.
Since you started making,
You're looking at the ceiling. You can talk down this way. Talk down this way right here. You keep looking up. So you said
where
depends
you
on.
this record to?
Huh?
Where are you taking it to?
I like to go ahead and take it to other people who on my YouTube channel to hear maybe my interviews.
Okay. So the highest I've earned since I started making was 2,000 rands.
2,000 rands is the highest you've made in 1 month. But you get to keep your tips.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a good pay? Is that considered good? 2,000 rand a month.
I'm just saying it's better than nothing, better than sitting at home not knowing what to do. Like, it's not weird. It's not what I want. This is not what I want.
How old are you?
Just turned 25 the 4th of this month.
Do you have any kids? You married?
No, I'm not married, but I do have a baby girl. She turned 3 on the 26th of June.
Okay. You have your own house?
I'm renting.
You're renting. You have a car?
No, not yet. I
Not
wish
yet.
to have all those things only if I got my dream job or if I went to study further for nursing or doctor. I wanted to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor?
Yes. Wanted to do something related to medicine.
So why don't you go to school for that?
My APS score was so low, so I couldn't really get to a public college or university. I had to go to a private one. There's no one to fund my studies.
Oh.
I've tried looking for the colleges in the international countries, Poland, UK, and getting an university.
Oh, so you try to apply abroad to these other countries? Huh. So how long will you do this until you find something else to do?
How long will I do it?
Serving.
I'm serving, applying for a job at the same time. Until I find something here for now, then I still keep on applying it.
Sorry for the volume.
I want to study.
You want to study? Okay.
I want to have a profession or something.
You want a profession or something?
But in this country,
I can't hear you. In this country, what?
it's hard.
It's hard.
It's not easy. There were a lot of graduates I know. 80% of them are sitting at home doing nothing.
80% of the graduates are at home, sitting at home doing nothing.
Looking for jobs, they can't find them. You know, South Africa is so stupid in which way? They ask you to, okay, those are they're advertising a job. That job requires you like say a degree in that kind of profession. And for you to complete a degree, you need like 4 to 5 years to complete it.
Yes.
After completing the degree, you apply for a job.
Yes.
They tell you it's only from 18 years to 27 years. The time you finish a degree, you're already 28 or over the age limit. The time, if you're not over the age limit, they will need you to have like an experience of 5 years. For you to go acquire that experience and that specific industry, it's gonna take you years. So the South African education system is just, I don't know what's wrong with it, but then it's not working. It's not everyone who's gonna be having money because they need to study. Some people are talented, they can make money with their own hands. But in South Africa, the only thing they do is to give children food at schools. Instead of giving them computers for free, give them basic knowledge, like for them to know how to use a computer. You know, I only knew how to use a PC when I went to a college. Even now, I don't own any PC.
So you learned how to do a computer when you went to college, not through school.
Yes. So that's how the education system is so poor here. If I have the power to change, I will change a lot of things in this country.
What would be the one thing you would want to change in this country?
I'll start going there by the rural areas. There are a lot of kids who are talented there. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not recognized because there's no one to uplift them. Their talents are going into waste.
You would go to the rural areas and do what?
Create some sort of talent show. Encourage and motivate them to do something. Because some kids, it's difficult for them to adapt in the educational background. They really can't see that this kid is struggling. No matter how hard you want them to study, whatever they're studying, it's not getting in through. But you'll find them, they're very good in fixing computers. They are good in fixing phones. They can be able to move the car from one place to another. They can make something good. But then they are forced to sit and study. There's some kids there are very talented. They can play so very well football. They're very good at that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, they have like technical schools.
No.
They don't have technical schools.
Not any that I know of. From where I come from in Limpopo.
So you have to go to a 4-year college. You don't have to go. Technical school could be like 2 years to specifically learn about computers.
No.
Or auto mechanics.
If you have to do that, that's when you've seen that you have failed. And that's the work of educators. As an educator or as a teacher, you're the one who knows your learners more than they know themselves. You know that this learner is good at this, is not good at that. So they should be the one identifying the problems from these kids and take them to where they need to be. Take them where they belong, technical schools or whatever. For you to go to a technical school, you need to pay. There is nothing for free in this country.
Yeah, I hear that same argument from people in America. A lot of people go to school. Some can't get jobs. Some are working in professions that they don't even have a degree in. You know.
So it's also happening in the States.
Of course.
Is it not only here?
That's everywhere. Every country I go to, I hear that same thing.
What's your say in that?
My say is that we need to remove this type of system that we're living in.
How so? You don't
We
have
need to
any
go.
powers.
Well, that's because we've given up the power.
How did we do that?
We got afraid of dying. We too afraid to fight to die. So we allow those to come in and control us. We become their servants. They keep all the money. We struggle in the system. We have to learn their education. We have to do exactly what they say.
And I think there's one thing that ruined everything is money.
Money has ruined a lot of things, you're saying. Of course, there is a system we can live off with, and you don't need money. Look, before the Europeans came with money, we didn't have money.
Yeah, that was back then. Things have changed now.
They've changed. So now we got to figure out how do we either be part of that system.
Do you think it's going to be possible?
There's many people who's not part of it. So there are people who don't know. When I say part of it, You could work your own business. There's people who live in the villages who work their businesses.
Tell you something. I once had a small business. I was selling pap.
Yeah.
The chicken that she wants.
Yeah.
I used to do that before. The thing is, I never want to be dependent. I always wanted to have my own money. Also wanted to be rich one day.
Yeah, what?
I wanted to be rich, have my own money, drive the nicest car.
That's the problem. Y'all, why do you want to drive the nicest car and be rich?
It was just a dream that didn't even come true.
Well, you can have a dream, but as soon as you don't get that nice car, you don't become rich. Because what is rich? How much is rich?
I don't know.
I know you don't know. All righty.
I don't know how much is rich, but it's for you to, okay, you can't have everything that you want. You can just have a little more of what you wish to have. But you can't have everything that you want. You see, the billionaires, they always work, they work every day, they never stop working. Although they have got a lot of money, but they still work to keep money coming.
Yeah.
Because they're not satisfied with what they have.
No.
That's the problem.
Well, you said you want to be rich. That means you're gonna have to keep working and keep making that money. You said that.
I wanted to back then when I was in primary, when they asked me what I did, I wanted to be, I was like, I want to be a doctor and I want to be rich.
Well, go ahead and do it then. You can be rich and you can be a doctor.
I can't be a doctor.
Yes.
I can't be a nurse.
Yes. And you can be rich.
Maybe.
You already rich.
I don't have a lot of money. I don't have money.
I'm not talking about money.
Rich in mind.
Rich in spirit. Do you believe in the Most High?
My name is Faith.
Your name is Faith. You're the second Faith I met today. It's a very common name. There's a lot of faith out here, but there's a lot of unbelief. So go for it.
I'll try.
There's no trying. It's doing.
I'll do it.
Do it. Ain't no time to be trying.
I'll do it.
And find no excuse. There's 24 hours in a day. You only need 6 hours of sleep. Now, what you gonna do with them 18 hours?
Tricky question.
I used to work 3 jobs.
What you do now?
I'm chilling,
You are
chilling,
chilling.
relaxing.
You don't work. You don't have any businesses.
Yeah, but you know, it's I don't consider it
You
work.
said it's your first time coming to SA.
Yes.
What motivated you all the way from USA to here?
You need to go to my channel and you get motivated from my channel.
What's your name?
Go Black to Africa.
Go Black to Africa.
That's my YouTube channel. Because I'm quite sure you got a smartphone.
Okay, maybe go
Yeah.
get your food.
Okay.
All right. So that was the conversation. Let me take this off of sharing screen. Somebody said they love that conversation. It's a good conversation. You know what inspires me about that? Me and my wife had a conversation, and we talked about maybe sponsoring her so that she can go ahead and go to medical school. I have to reach out to that young lady and really find out what all it's going to take. You know, my heart goes out to many people. And it's all about really seeing that she, you know, there's billions of stories just like hers. And there are those who, when she was asking me questions, is what really got me. Well, how can we do that? It seems like we're powerless. She was asking these questions because she doesn't know. How do I get from out of this? How do I? And so it's like, you know, well, let me just give you this. You said your name is Faith, and you said you believe in the Most High. Well, you know what? It says in the ancient writings that faith without works is dead. That means you have to get out and do that work. If that's what you want to do is be rich. If you want to be rich, it's going to cost you a lot. You're going to have to work then if that's what you want to do. Because she even said, well, the billionaires, they keep working and working and they make the money, they're making all the money, this and that. Yeah, and if you want to be a billionaire, well, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to have to work that thing and become the billionaire. The thing of it is many people don't want to put the work in. That's probably the mountain that very few want to climb. But what she did was I took a little notes here too, because she wants to, and I get it. When you see people around you as your civilization is growing and you start to see people driving nice cars, you start to see these nice houses constructed, and you going to work every day and you're like, I can never get to there. That's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. I remember the day when I was adding up my pennies and I'm like, I got to do something different than what I'm doing. So I had to get another job. Then I had to turn around and get another job. And for y'all who's watched me a many a times, and I've said this before, it blows my mind how much I worked back then. And I just am at surprise, like, how did I do it? I asked my wife, she went through a divorce, had a 1-month-old baby and 5 boys, a girl, 1-month-old baby and 5 boys, divorce, doing a job. And I said, how did you do that? 6 kids by yourself. You working a job, getting off work and have to take care of the kids and your day don't even end. For those who wants to be doctors, let me tell you something about doctor being. My wife is a doctor. Their day don't end. Look, she does 3 more hours when she comes home. 3 more hours in her office and don't come out until all of her labs are done, all of her records are done and all that there. 3 more hours. And you wonder, okay, I can see why they might be getting paid pretty good though in America, because their day doesn't end once they get off of work. So my thing is that, you can want to do something, but are you willing to go through it? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to save? Are you willing to get yourself to the next place that you feel you should be? And in the system, this world that we're in, you got to be able to navigate through it to figure out, how can I position myself if those are things that you want? But what I had found out, because I was in the same place, when I was broke, busted, and disgusted, I was driving BMWs, had all the jewelry and all that right there, and my bank account was broke, which I find that's where our people are today. Everybody want to look like they got something, but have nothing. And so this beautiful young lady here who's aspiring to be a doctor, asking me these questions of how can this, what should I do? I mean, it means she's looking and searching for answers. And that is what moves me, because that means then that she's trying to figure out how to get to another place. But what is rich though? Because I asked her, what is rich? And she said, I don't know. So you're asking for something that you don't even have a clue in. Sometimes, I forgot to say about my wife, I forgot to end, that my wife, when I asked her, how does she do that? All like 10 years to get all the kids out of the house except for one. And her thing was, suck it up and keep it moving. That's my wife's answer. In life, suck it up and keep it moving. She said, I ain't had time to sit around and whine and complain that, whoa, it's me and I went through a divorce and I got, I got financial issues, or, trying to stay up with some of my kids who are teenagers and they're bucking up, boys and all that right there. And, my wife is tiny, and she's dealing with those. And I'm like, how in the world? Through the grace of God, a lot of prayers on her knees and a lot of dealing with a lot of things. But in saying that, isn't that life though, family? Because this young lady here, I think I couldn't understand whether or not she said 25 or 35. She like she was 25. But how many stories are like that? And I keep telling people this right here. There's no room to complain. You got to go get it. I know life is a struggle. Everywhere I go, you find struggle. Everywhere you go, there's poverty. There is. It was written in the ancient writings, in the scrolls and the scriptures. You will always have the poor amongst you. Always. What I'm finding though is that there are a percentage of those, and I think I wouldn't know what the numbers are and stuff, but there's a percentage, a high percentage of those who just don't have the knowledge. And there are those who don't have the drive. There are those who don't have the faith. There are those who don't have the will. There are those who, the list goes on. Okay, yeah, she said she was 25. Yeah, she looked 25. Well, it's not even how to survive in Africa. It's how to use a system that's everywhere. How do you survive the system? How do you survive this? So I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now, and I'm gonna invite y'all in. What are your thoughts about the conversation? What are your answers to your, life's issues, and how do you get through? Let us hear some of your stories. How can you motivate people? But if you call in, I got to see who you are. Now, I will go ahead and let I got to see who you are you got to see who you are, because I would say behind the scenes, but no, this is man to man and man to woman conversation. Ain't no time to be hiding behind scenes and all that right there. But I'm not dressed for the occasion. Go on and put your outfit on. Don't need to be seeing no bare chest and no all that right there. Throw a shirt on, put a hat on your head, and let's have a conversation. How can you motivate the people that are down and out, without hope, have no faith, have no direction, have no answer? What would you say? Where's our people at? Africans, our people who are in America, where are you at? What do you have? We're talking about solutions. I hate to have conversations when there's no solutions. How did you overcome your struggles of life? How did you overcome the lowest point in time of your life? Y'all know my struggle. When my lowest point was I was about to commit suicide. I had no hope, no direction. That's why I can't keep my mouth shut, because I'm always about trying to help somebody, because this is a hurting world. So many people put on the makeups and put on the attires and their clothes and drive their cars, and majority of the people are hurting. Do you know, if you notice, check the commercials out now on YouTube. The YouTube now has commercials. Now they got people, psychics are now back, y'all. These psychic commercials are back. Call in if you want to know about your husband, your boyfriend. You went through a breakup, you went through a divorce. See, now the psychics want to go ahead and try to tell you how you should live your life, because they're going to try to foretell your future. Don't waste your money. I'll give it to you free. Free indeed. Then I saw a commercial about this funny commercial. It's all about the flesh. This commercial was about this herb that you could take, and it's this European woman that's talking and all right there. And it's this, she says, it's when the man is lacking of his size, because every woman, they like a size, they like a really good size. And then she says, yeah, this herb that is that we have, it will cause you to have you will be, what she say, you will be like the African, you will be the size like of the African whatever. I can't remember what. How many of y'all have heard that, seen that commercial? I said, wow, they threw in Africa. So, they saying you want to be long, you'll be long like an African. You men, you could take this herb right here and be like the African. I started chuckling, because this is the answers from the world. They want you to believe the problems that you go through. What is your anatomy? What is your problems? Whatever. We got solutions. Take these drinks. Listen to the psychics. All of these things that lead you nowhere, and you will spend thousands of dollars on things that don't even help you. A psyche? Who's going to tell you what? What is a psyche going to tell you? Give me the money, and I'm going to go ahead and hint around and try to tap on something that sounds familiar to you and have you believing, and then tell you to come back in 2 weeks, whatever, so I can give you another reading, and then you're going to be given that money again. We searching and looking for answers, and yet nobody wants to admit that the Most High has the answers. The link is in the chat. Where my brothers and sisters at? We got Mrs. Austin coming in the house. Thank the Most High. We got a sister coming in. But hold up. I can't get. Okay. Mrs. Austin.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I am doing well. I hear you loud and clear. What's
Awesome,
good?
awesome. I
Can you
think
hear me?
there's a, yeah, I can. I think it's a delay.
Okay, all right. What you got? What you got to share?
So I know one of the things I am in the States, and my thing is, what you're doing is great. You are allowing this platform for people to come together and share what's going on in South Africa and also give your point of view from the States. So it's very important that people see that. One of the things that we can do is basically come together with a platform such as this, and that way to see how we can work on making it better for us. We like you said, we know about corruption, but that we got to get beyond that. So what do we do? So for the like the young lady, we know how it is with the school systems and going to college here in the States. It's almost mirrored, they tell you you have to go to college, you have to do this and that, and then the next thing you know, you graduate and you going back to what you was doing before. You're not even in your field, but now you have this amount of debt that you have to pay. So that's one of the things that we just really have to do. And I think I saw some people in the chat was speaking about go get a job or something like that, or get more jobs, because like you even said, you had 3 jobs yourself, and someone else said they had 3 jobs. And I don't even know what rich is, because I'm with you. I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm blessed. And the first thing so many of us have to get out of is that mind frame, because they have placed us in this system that that all of us are aware of, and we have to get out of it. And I caught you when you said that your whole point behind you even starting your channel was because of something that you had went through, and now you wanted to commit suicide. And for myself, I myself had went through things, but our purpose is, we're still here because we know that we have a purpose, and it's for our people, whether they're in the States or whether they're in Africa. I've learned so much in the past month about South Africa, and I'm still learning. And it's sad that the minorities that's over there, aka the whites, why are they making so much more than our brothers and sisters over there in Africa? So we just got to come together, and I applaud what you're doing. And I've been watching several of your channels and everything, and I love them. But of course, I came across this one today, and I was watching your other one about the South Africans being interviewed. So, but I was like, nope, I can pause that, and I want to catch this. So definitely, guys, just listen to what Go Black is saying. And I know so many of us have been in this mind frame of, well, this is this and this is that. We got to remember who put that there. We have to reshape our mind. Whatever it was, we have to reshape it. And I'm going to tell you, if you do it the right way, it's going to hurt like hell. You're going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated, really. But you got to come back, and you got to realize I have a purpose, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what Go Black is doing, and I'm on the same train. I'm right with you.
Where are you at in the States?
I am I'm currently in Georgia, and but I'm originally from VA. the most
Okay.
racist state ever. But
What part?
what part in Georgia?
VA.
VA. I'm from. Are you familiar with Fort AP Hill,
I've heard of
Richmond?
it. Yeah. Well, Richmond. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm about a 30, 45 minutes north of Richmond.
Okay.
I'm up.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
up
Okay.
by Quantico and
Yeah.
Fort AP Hill and all of those. That's where I'm
Okay.
originally born and raised.
Okay. Okay. I've driven I-95 1,000 times and have gone through there. I got relatives there. My dad is from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay. Oh, yep.
Yeah. My
A lot of
sisters live.
history.
Yeah, my sister and my mother lives right there in Chesapeake.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and my nephew and his wife lives over in Hampton. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm very familiar with Virginia.
Yep.
But so you're in Georgia now.
I'm in
Are you
Georgia now.
okay? Are you a business entrepreneur or you working in the system? What?
I am working a full time job, and I also have I have two businesses. My first business is doing custom tumblers, but my second business is Black Wall Street Online. And of
Okay.
course, you're from the States, so you know the history behind the name Black Wall Street.
Hmm.
And what started me from what started me to do Black Wall Street was when we went through the viewing of the murder of George Floyd.
Hmm.
And when I saw it, that's what really broke me. And I said, you know
Hmm.
what? We have too many talented brothers and sisters that our businesses are not being noticed. You know, somewhat just like the sister that talked about, her going to school. Everything is set at a level that, you want to be rich, but how you going to catch, you can't grasp it. Because when you even get close to it, they go, oh, they're getting too close. They go up.
Hmm.
So my thing is Black Wall Street Online, we are not for profit. And what it is that we do is we help small businesses, the ones that truly need the assistance to get their business out there. And I'm even blessed to now know that I have a South African business entrepreneur that's a representative for us.
Hmm.
And I have been doing so much research, and research is so important. Just research half the stuff that Go Black is saying. It's there, but you got to keep researching multiple things because they will switch things up. And if you have questions, I mean, I know you definitely can reach out to him, or someone that you can trust is going to give you an honest answer and don't have a motive behind it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. So yeah, check out. So your website is what? What is it?
So my website is www.b as in Black Wall Street. I mean BWSO 1921.com. That's our website, and we're also on IG Black Wall Street Online LLC.
Awesome, awesome. Reach out to her folks there. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like it's a pretty good program that you got going, helping assisting, those businesses that are trying to get themselves in and up and running. You know, that's where we should be in helping and assisting those that are just need a little lift.
Yes,
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
calling in.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Did you see my video, the Black Wall Street, the real Black Wall Street, or the new Black Wall Street?
No, I'm gonna have to go check it out.
You have to.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
you
have
got
to
to check
check it
out
out.
the story of the brothers and sisters who left America in 1967. Now they reside in Israel, been there since 69, and have a community and are there for their anniversary, their 50 something anniversary. Beautiful success story. Own businesses, have factories, I'm telling you, you got to check it out. I got like 6 videos of the thing while I was up there here
Oh, I
about
definitely gotta check
2
it
months
out.
ago. Yeah. Check it out.
Wow. I will. I will.
All right, then.
Thank
Appreciate you,
you.
Mrs. Austin.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. So, lovely family, hey, we are on, and I am putting the link back in. For those who want to call in, who's got a good, positive word of wisdom to share with people. People are looking for answers. How did you come out of the rut that you were in? How were you able to get to the place that you wanted, but there was a struggle? How can we share with not just Africa, but around the globe of people who are in these societal systems that really are sucking the life out of us? And people are looking for hope, looking for this and that, and my thing is that I ain't the only one who got answers. I'm limited by myself because I can only give you what worked for me. And what worked for me may not be there in where you are, but we collectively can. Let's go ahead on to the next.
Where you are, but we
Okay, Nancy, you are going to have to turn off
let's go ahead
the other link with the volume. So, and I said you got to show your face, but yeah, we're going to stay with that. We got to see our beautiful people. I want to make sure I'm talking to our beautiful people.
Well, it is me. It's just I have
Who's
load
me?
shedding. I am a black person.
You're African.
Oh, I'm African. Sorry. Yes, you are right. I am
I
an
saw you
African.
behind the scenes, so I'll let you slide because
Okay, thank you.
you are one of the queens coming in, and we need to hear from our sisters as well. What you got for us, Nancy?
Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to say that I'm a student in South Africa. I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if okay. So I was just listening to your story about the person, the lady who's doing waitressing,
Yeah.
and I was just putting in the chat that I do tutoring on the side with my main job, and which
You do what?
tutoring, just tutoring on the side.
Okay.
Yes. So what I wanted to say was, um, so I in Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwean mindset where after if you go to the diaspora, you have to buy a house back home and build and own your property. I don't know if you know if you met any Zimbabweans who felt that way, but like that's like the main conversation. If you leave the country, you're expected to buy a home and own everything that you have back at home in Zimbabwe. So I'm currently 23 years old, so I'm on my way to buying the first one, um, using tutoring and my main job. So I was just saying that for the young lady who is a waitress, she can try other things like tutoring. Like, it seems as though people know this, but they don't share information with each other. Like you can make almost 8,000 rand a month just by tutoring, and I'm in Port Elizabeth, which is a very small. It's in the Eastern Cape. It's very small. So you can imagine being in Cape Town or Joburg or Durban. I think she could make more money,
Okay.
close to 10K,
So you can
if
imagine
she
being
wanted to. So and also her main job, which is paying her 2K. So that would be 12,000 at the end of the month. And you can survive. I was surviving well. I was in university here for the past 3 years. I was doing engineering. You can survive if you are a single person with no kids on 500 rands. But she said that she does have kids, so obviously we're factoring in a child and also school fees, right? But
Mhm.
that can amount to about 2.5 because a child, I'm sure, is pretty, she or he is pretty small at this point in time. So that can amount to 2.5. So you can save at the end of the day and have, I remember last year, before I finished my degree, I saved almost 70K. And I was actually using some of that money to buy, stupid
Hold
stuff,
up,
which I
hold
regret
up,
at the end of the day.
hold up. You were able to save 70,000 US dollars or 70,000 rand.
Oh no, 70,000 rand. Sorry, not US dollars. That's not
Okay.
much, but it's okay. It's decent.
No, that's I'm gonna tell you. I mean, from what I hear and see, that's very impressive.
Yeah, so there's so many ways you can go. It's a very difficult, not really difficult, but you have to work. Well, in Zimbabwe, when you say, "Oh, I'm sleeping in on Saturdays," when there's money to make, they just look at you like you're a loser, basically. So I have to, you have to work from Monday all the way to Sunday if you can, if there's money to make and there's a stand to buy. So that's what I just wanted to say. There's so many ways, and most people prefer female tutors anyway. So she can just check it out, and creating also LinkedIn profiles, to apply for international jobs is also beneficial as well. So I have an interview on Monday for a company in the US. So hopefully that goes well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and thank you for everything.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
your kind words and your words of wisdom, because I'm telling you, this is hope for others who listen to this. That there is a way, and but you got to put that work in, like you said. You can't wait on a system to sit around and save you. You're gonna have to go out there and get it. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, is going out there to get it.
yeah. Thank you. I really respect you and respect your platform. Hopefully you come to Zimbabwe sometime soon.
I will be in
Hopefully.
Zimbabwe, and hopefully I'll be there. Hopefully, maybe this end of this year, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much. I'll just hold
Thank you
on.
very
Thank you.
much, Nancy. You take care.
Thank you.
This end of this year, maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, Marlene, you are going to have to shut down one of your links that you got two things running at the same time. Yeah, not yeah. Mute one of those. You are going to have to shut down one of your links that you got
two
you got
things
two
running at the
things open. So one of them you got to mute.
Yeah, not yeah. Mute one of
You
those.
came into you
Are
came
going to
into
have to
yeah, you came into one. Are you good? So you was watching from one, but when you hit the link, it took you and opened up another link, open up another tab. So you have to go back to what you originally was watching and mute that. Okay, say something. Let me see if I can hear you. Okay, she's gonna probably call back in. Yeah, the link is in, you all. This is our lovely ladies' night. I tell you, this is very surprising that sisters are calling in. Maybe because it's a sister that I interviewed. Maybe it's because the sisters felt the vibe from that sister and have words of wisdom to share. It's a beautiful thing when we got our feminine females out here who are chiming in to bring things to a full circle. I love it. The link is in the chat, family. You can call in. If you haven't heard the audio that I play, go back and play the audio before you call in so that you can then be knowledgeable of what the discussion is about. Because I believe that the more that we know on subject matters, the more educated we are on giving responses. So, yes, I'll say this until I wait till some other people call in, is that I want to thank each and every one of you all who have been sending words of wisdom and blessings my way. For those who don't know, today is my birthday. I am 56 years old today. And I'm in a place now in my chapter of this life is giving back. And that is through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, sometimes monetarily, um, that I believe that to help our people, help, when I say our people, those who are on that road of really of trying to strive for what is right of life. I ain't trying to pour into really how I used to be at a young age, back then, just a rebel rouser, hell raiser, and just up to no good. No, 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 no. It's those who's really looking for answers and hope and have a little faith here. That's what I look for. And there are just people out here who just hand just of cards. It's just need to turn them back in. Sometimes that's how it is in life. But even you, through the grace of God, through the power of God, by the knowledge that will be given you, will definitely turn that stuff around, because it did me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So thank you very much, y'all, for that. The birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Uh, says you are not exchanging your 7-1. You're not exchanging your skills at a fair price. I'm not sure if you're talking to somebody else or not. Yeah. Let me say this too, because I had mentioned to the young lady rather, about, she said, well, how do we do? And I said, well, people are afraid to die. And I didn't necessarily mean die in a physical way. Death is sacrifice. willing to give something up in order for the whole to be able to gain something. We're not willing to give up some luxuries in order to move forward in betterment. We're way too afraid to open up our mouths to speak about what is wrong. Not Let me say this right here too, because I got to say this right here. You see, the world's laws are not God's laws. Yeshua, Yahweh. That's not they. We believe that the laws are right and in alignment with what God's law is, and that's far from the truth. So then we're twisted already in knowing what truth is, because we believe what the law has been set makes it true. No, it's not the case. For the Most High has laws or orders or commandments that are in place that we can live by. And it is obligation of the Most High that if you stand on being right, we're not talking about being crooked around the corners, taking stuff that's corrupt, things that are stolen, trying to get over and scheme, scam, or skim off the top of things. And you just as about as crooked as you claim that the government is, but yet you want to go ahead and get where you want to be. It don't work that way. I had to find that out for myself. I had to clean up my act. I had to be on the road of righteousness or on being holy, being whole in the eyes of what the Creator says, being holy in one in purity. That's what I'm talking about. So when I'm talking about this, is people are just afraid to die today. That means people are afraid to sacrifice, give up something, their time, their effort. There was a day that people would strike, people would not show up on jobs. There were people who stood up for what was right and what the world was saying was wrong, and things began to move. Now we're sitting around and we're marching about stuff that has nothing to do with what God to move. What do I mean by that? We can talk about and march about white cops killing black people on the street. We can do that, right? That's wrong, murdering somebody. But in the same breath, will not speak out against black on black killing each other in America. You don't see people marching and protesting. Let's stop this crime. We gotta stand up and get them prostitutes off the corner, get them drug dealers off the corner. Let's clean up this mess that we are living in, these cities that we're living in, and blaming the rest of societies when we are about as corrupt and crooked as the system. This is where we at today. We pointing fingers when we ain't pointing and saying, yo, we look, we know we got them 5-finger discounts coming into our house. So we know little Johnny down the street goes up there and steals in them streets. And then he comes knock on your door and say, hey, I got some clothes for you for 25 cents. Yeah, give me some of that. Yo, I got some food that, that I got from this grocery store. Okay, give me that. So are we not just as guilty? Let's let Jay in the house today. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit. Sounds like you far distance, but
Okay, let me try
um,
and turn my mic up. Happy birthday. How are you?
I am doing fine. Thank you very, very much.
Okay. Yes, I'm from Africa, currently living in the US. And I remember back in the day, I was that girl you're talking to. Okay? I had gone to college and I was looking for work everywhere and I couldn't find any. So I started doing side hustles. I had about 3 side hustles in Africa, Galway. I would make those little, they look like donuts. I would sell them to school kids during lunch. I would have something else for breakfast. I would do catering in offices. I would take lunch to people in offices. So when I listen to that young lady, I think it's a personal drive. Is she driven? Does she? And another thing I noted, she said she does not have a computer. So she might be living in a very closed life because if you don't have a computer and you just wake up and go to your waitressing job, maybe she needs to be more exposed. And it also makes a big difference in Africa where you're coming from. If you come from the rural, deep down in the rural setting, and of course, I come from Kenya, you had to know somebody to get a job. Okay, it's not easy. And most of the ladies I went to college with, they're all dead from HIV. Okay, so currently I don't have any friends I can say I went to school with because most of them, since they wanted the job so bad, to get a job you have to sleep with so many people, and I truly wasn't gonna do that. You know, I went home. My mom was, you're not looking for work." I told her, "I'm looking for work." So one day I took my mom. She had told me there's a family friend we used to have, and she had told me, "Why don't you go to Mr. So and so and get a job?" I said, "Okay, come with me." So my mom stood beside me and listened to this man's conversation. He was like, "When am I gonna take you out? When are you?" I said, "You see, when I go looking for work, this is all what's happening." And that's what really motivated me to leave and go to the United States. And I've been here, and when I came here, of course, I went to school, and I've had to work very, very, very hard. I had 4 jobs when I went to school, and currently I'm pursuing business. I do real estate. I have a full-time job. I'm hustling. I have 2 side hustles. You know, I'm really working hard, hoping to retire in the next 2 years because I have a nonprofit going on in Kenya right now, and that's what I plan to do. But it's all on someone's drive, and if you have a vision. But that pity me, and I agree with you. You cannot have. No one is coming to save us. We gotta save ourselves. Nobody is coming to save us. So I put on my happy face and go to work, and I'm playing chess at work. You know, you have to know what you want. You cannot let people fire you. If you see, oh, it's looking a little bit, because I've worked in corporate, I've worked in different offices, and you cannot wait and see if there are layoffs. You know, look at what's going on and look for another job. Because we don't have, when we come here to the US, we don't have family that you can ask for anything from. You know, I had to know where's my rent coming from, where's my ride coming from, and just stay very organized. But I think the young lady needs, first of all, I don't know where she's living, but she needs a computer, and she needs to motivate herself. Because yeah, it's not bad to be a waitress, but you cannot just sit there and say the country is bad, because even here in the US, it's very difficult. So she has to do something else. She can waitress and do something else a little bit, get home by 10. But if she's making 200 rand right now, she can look for something else. Like the other lady said, do some tutorials, do something. And I did note that she said her grades were not good. What about going back? Right now, maybe it's a little bit too late, but she can get some extra classes to bring her skills up,
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
for a roommate. Look for a roommate. Just try. We all come from different backgrounds. When I came to the US, I had 6 roommates because I could not afford anything, And I was working, cutting the bus from one place to another. Some places I had to go chill somewhere for an hour or two, waiting for my other job to start. But currently, I own a few homes here, and it's not been easy. I'm working super, super hard, but I'll make it. In the next 5 years, I'll be totally free. I'll be like you, Mr. Go Black. You motivate me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing an echo. You got two links open, two tabs open. Mute one of them.
I don't know how to do that.
Whatever you was on initially, you got to mute it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was muted. Okay. I'll just get off. How about
So yeah,
that?
I still hear. Yeah, I still hear this.
2 acres.
I still hear it. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for your time. I hope the young lady will get motivated.
Where are you in the states? Oh, she just like put it in the chat. Where are you in the states, and all that right there. But she's hitting on some things. I mean, if you're wanting to have money in your hand, you're going to have to work for money. There's just no way around it. Even in the scriptures, it says a man don't eat if he don't work. I mean, that is just how it is. It's the world we live in. Yes, we're under this money thing, and it would be great to go back and into a place where we don't have to depend on money, and we can operate through our skills and our gifts and barter and trade, all these things. But because the system, we got to figure it out how to get through all that. So and money's not everything. Let me say that right here, family. Money ain't everything. Because even then, when I was broke, and then you start making money, you start to realize, wow, I thought that I would probably be happier. I thought that it would be a sense of and it wasn't. And so then now you start to look at, okay, I really don't need that car. I don't really need this big house. I don't need those fancy clothes and jewelry. So then all of a sudden now you realize I don't need to make all the money. I don't need to be rich. I just am thankful I got what I have that's suiting my needs. Not to say that you can't work to try to make as much as you want. If that's what you want to do, but it's going to cost you something. Like the sister said, she worked her butt off, and she's definitely has worked hard. Marlene.
Here I am. I just
All
wanted
right,
to
we good.
okay. Yeah, I had so many things up. Okay, so my name is Marlene Mays, as you see. And my major motivation for me, because I'm a motivator as well. But my motivation is when I wake up in the morning, I give God the honor, the glory, and the praise. I keep, it's important to have things organized, but we're not just living this human experience, we're spiritual beings. And so I definitely make sure that on the spiritual sector, I am being thankful for my life, being thankful for the air that I breathe. And I love how you said that, your life is not so much about the money that you make, the car that you have, or even the apartment or the house that you have, because that can all be taken away. And so my motivation here for the young lady is that just being thankful, they always say that the grass is greener on the other side, but it's not. Where are you at? There are people that don't even have a job, but yes, she has a job, and there's a motivator by the name of Zig Ziglar. And there was a lady, and she did not like her job. And then Zig Ziglar told her, you know what, I'm going to give you some homework. Go ahead and write down the benefits of your job, write down the things you don't like about your job, and really take a look at it. And so if she does it, if she takes a look at where she is right now, because you got to start somewhere. So where are you all right now? What do you have right now? Not what you don't have, because it's something that we easily fall into. Oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. But when she starts off with what she has, she realized, okay, I do have something. I have life, and I am able to do something right now. And the thing about it is that we keep on planting seeds from the past of regret. But when we plant the seeds of gratitude right now, then it's almost like that. Like if you're thirsty and you drink some water, then okay, I finally drank some water and I can move forward. And it's easier said than done. But if we take the time out and say, okay, you know what? I have the most important thing. I have a relationship with God Almighty. I can be in so many places. There are people who are rich, but they don't have. But if your wealth is only on money, if your wealth is only on your car, if your wealth is only on the things that someone else can take, then you really don't know about your true worth. And right now, even though she's waitressing, I waitress, I was even in the military, and I was able to travel the world, but I had to find the peace within, because nowhere where you go, no matter where you go, if you're always relying on somebody else to give to you, you will always be asking for someone else to give to you. But when you understand you're that manufacturer within, what can what is her niche? What can she produce? If she was not able to go to get her degree in college. What can she do right now? She has great customer skills. She's able to speak to different people. She's able to do a humble job and still make her way. She already has good assets. It's now about producing it. Does she journalize? She can write a book. I myself, I wrote a few books. How can she turn her experience into gold? And sometimes it's about seeing the experience that she's been going through as gold instead of something that should be thrown to the side. So that's my motivation for her. Where you at, where you're standing is green because of where she is. You know, like, you know, I also remember there's this book called Think and Grow Rich. And there is this guy who sold his land. I think it was looking for gold or diamonds. And the thing about it is where he was, his land, his house, his land was actually valuable. And sometimes we're searching outwards when we have everything already. You know, it's the reason, you know, in the Bible, I'm so sorry, but in the Bible, it talks about how there was a prophet and she had nothing and she had all these bills. And he told her to get all of the jars together. Now she had to take a leap of faith to get jars. She had to ask neighbors. She had to look around her house. And then he poured the oil in, or she poured the oil in, and it kept on going. But it was all that she had in her own home. So the question is what do I have within me? What do I have within my home that I am able to use to do something better? You know? So, yeah.
Well, that was awesome, sister. I appreciate you, sharing that word of wisdom. I hope a lot of people who are listening, take that and receive that, what you're saying, because it all comes down to really you knowing what your wealth is, and that wealth is within you. That wealth is the Almighty. And, some people think sometimes, people get preachy and all that right there. But I like what you said, and that is that when you can get up in the morning and acknowledge one that is greater than yourself, and you lay and lean all that or put all that on the Most High, it makes your burdens very light. That's what it was said scripturally, that we're able to put everything on the Lord. Because that's why I tell people, recite everything that God said the promise was, because then
Exactly.
God. So now I'm living a life not for me creating, it's God that's doing the thing. If I didn't get this thing, I don't need to be upset that, hey, I've been given honor and praise to God. So it was not God's will. It was God's will for me not to enter into that area. I tell my wife and I tell other people this right here. When things aren't going your way, be thankful, because know what's at the end of that road.
Truly.
We don't foresee the things that may be there that might be the destruction for us. Wealth and fame and fortune, many people have had it, and it's corrupted them. I mean, I like the old scriptures that says it's harder for a man to enter into the kingdom of heaven than a camel to enter into the eye of a needle. And the interesting thing about that, I used to think it was the eye of the needle that you sow with, until I went to Egypt and I learned something, that when you enter into a city, and they have the arch to enter into the city, that's called the eye of the needle. And back they weren't put very high, and camels had a hard time getting through the eye. So camels they had to put them on their knees and try to get them to crawl through. So that right there taught me something. Said, wow, okay, all right. It was harder for a camel to get through that, or easier than a rich man, because yes, this capitalistic society that we live in, everything we see around us, I mean, the material things, we want it, we have the desires for it, but like you said, those things come and go.
And the thing about it is, and I'm sorry to interrupt because I want to go to someone else, is that fear. We fear the wrong things. We shouldn't even fear. God doesn't give it a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I don't mean to sound preachy, but the thing about it is that once you know that, wait a minute, this is not God. That's not God. And the problem is we idolize. we idolize and we give people the power that they don't even deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thank you so much for your your messages and your
Thank,
YouTube channel and all that you do, and continue to be blessed.
thank you very much, and you too. Thank you. Yeah, family. I mean, I'm going to put the link in this last time for those who want to call in and share your motivational testimony. How did you make it? How did you overcome? How were you able to go beyond than what most people were able to do? Today has been definitely a blessing on my birthday because it's been all women who's called in. That is telling you something. We haven't had a man call in, and it is a spirit of the feminine energy that is calling in today to share how they have overcome, how they have had their faith, their belief in the Most High, their determinations to continue to work hard, or their discipline in saving their money, or positioning themselves in places to where they can kind of get into a place they feel comfortable to live. It doesn't mean that you are, egotistical, selfish because you want to uh, be in a place that you want to live. There's nothing with that. There were, some of the chosen people who had a lot of wealth, and it was never ever looked down upon from the Most High of people who had wealth. Matter of fact, it is said that God says he for his children do not beg for bread. That matter of fact, for those who even believe in the Most High, should be the lender and not the borrower, should be in the head of things and not the tail of things. If that's the case, and we're talking now, what we're talking is not necessarily tangible things of that, but the spiritual. We are the walking voice in the image of the Most High. We're the ones who, the link is in the chat right now. We are the ones who should be the light of the world. We're the ones who should be helping and guiding people to see who the Most High is. We are the ones, but so many of us are so weak and down and out too that we are a bad example of those people, the dying world, and we claiming that we are the believers when we should be standing up and being the light of the world. But we are powerless. Why? Because we are subject to a system that has taken control of us, that we're feared to wiggle, fear to speak up, fear to even speak anything about God, because you are afraid of the retribution. You're afraid of the backlash of what will happen when you are out here in a system and may lose everything that you've worked for. But as our sister said, God hasn't given you the spirit of fear. Hasn't. But here's the interesting thing, family. It's mighty funny that when we sit here and we talk about, he's talking about that Bible, he's talking about that God, all that right there. I always hear people say this right here, well, you know what they say. And I always say, who is they? What makes that right? Because they say, but see, you believe so much in the man and the man's policies and the procedures, you can't even believe in the Most High's commandments or the so-called the writings or the scriptures of the Most High, but you follow everything that is said from the world. And then you're scratching your head and, struggling and stressed and all that there when actually the word actually can heal you. The spirit of truth will heal you. The comforter can heal you. And yet we want to go to man for every god doggone thing. Is that true? We do. Let me go to my counselor. Let me go to my psyche. Let me go to my this and that. Let me go and let them. And we going to the wrong place. Let's let Mbulelo.
Hello, my brother.
What's happening, brother? How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, God black man. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
Are you enjoying the country?
Of course. I'm joining the
Uh,
people.
nice, man. I've been listening to you for a while. I've been trying to catch what actually your mission and what are you trying to um, bring across for us as Black people, us as Africans, and what problems do you see, and what do you try? How are you trying to solve it? What is your mission? How do you foresee us as Africans winning? What do you see as the pertinent problems we as Black people are facing, and what do you see? What do you think should happen? What is the if you could sum it up in a mission statement?
Yeah, I can sum that up in a few words. We need to go back to the Most High. We need to go back to the Most High. We need to stop putting faith in our energy into the system, into this world, into man. We need to go back. I don't care if you black, white, yellow, green, orange, yellow, green, blue, whatever it is. You know, this word is for any and everybody. And yet, because of my channel, it's probably more attracting more of our brothers and sisters that are African and in the diaspora, because it's a great example to see when you see other cultures, and whether it's in the Western world and stuff like that, how we mimic and follow. I told a woman today, the woman I spoke to, I don't know if you how long you've been here on the channel today, but a woman I was speaking to in a jewelry store, and I said, sister, we have followed those who have come in to direct us in a different path than what we should be on. They got us believing in their God, and she said, well, God is it's the same God. I said, oh no, it's not. That's where you're fooled. And the name is not even Jesus. That's where you're fooled. And then we wonder
Um,
why we don't have the results. That's what I'm saying, is that we need to go back to the Most High.
brother, but I'd like to come in there. You do understand that us as Africans have got different cultures, right? Um,
Of course.
where I come from, we are Christians in religion, but it does not hold so much of a it has not such a weight on us, Christianity. In fact, we have adapted it to our own. We don't see religion. You think religion is the answer to Black people's problem. I do not think religion is the answer to Black people's problem.
Did
I
you hear
think
me mention anything about religion? I never said religion. I don't even agree with Christianity.
when you say we must come to the Most High, what you talking about?
The one and the true only spiritual God that is the creator of all things. That.
Okay, so it might not be religion as an structured religion. You're talking about spirituality.
You can put names on it what you want to put on it. I'm saying going back to the faith of that spiritual being, the creator, what name you want to call. The one thing that I love once I start digging into a lot of African cultures is that we already knew there was one. We let the Europeans come in and flip the script.
But okay, my brother. My issue is right. Right now in Africa, we've got wars going on. We've got people going hungry. Okay, right. We got politicians doing their own thing. And what you're saying, I don't see it solving our problems. That we suddenly, if we become spiritual, everything will work out. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for you. You might have your own different thing. I'm speaking for myself because when I wasn't following the Most High, I knew what my results was. I was living in a whole total different place where most people that I find. Now I understand what you're saying because I had to learn this right here, and the Spirit showed me this right here. Stop looking at what other people who profess to be believers or they part of spirituality and stuff, because that has nothing to do with you and I. There's a lot of people who just talk a game. There's a lot of people who act like they walk in the game, but they ain't true. Stop looking at and comparing that this because they say or mention something about spirituality or God or whatever. You walk in what I am guiding you through. And what I found for me, it's been all well. So then that I can only speak the very things that I know. Now, if people want to go off what they consider God and what they are doing and all that, right? That's their business. Because I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about, look, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about wealth. What I'm talking about is that in a life, when you have no cares or worries of this world, when you get to a place where you realize, if I have to die, I die. For, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to try to hold on to this life. And then, conversation was this right here at one point in time that, slavery would have never happened if people would have fought back. And that's true. Slavery would have never happened if people fought back.
What you mean? People were fighting back. People do fight back.
No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are those who surrendered and went forward. Now, I'm not saying that was bad. That was their call. What I'm saying is that when you're not afraid to die, you have now severed that umbilical cord, sever that tie from a system that can go ahead and use you. You now have, and when you tie that into the Most High, you say, I'm going to live for it. So whatever it be that the Lord puts me through, or whatever it might be, or whatever the outcome is, that is on the Lord, and I shall be thankful. You know what? If I happen to die, I will die at least in faith and belief.
My brother, it is easy for you to say that when you are flying in planes and living in hotels. You're not talking for a man who is hungry on the streets. We need political solutions. I hear you. There is an ideal of spirituality that we have to solve. But right now, as Africans, our biggest issues are, how do we feed ourselves? How do we protect ourselves? How do we heal ourselves? How do we make our own things? How do we own our economies? Spirituality will not answer those questions.
I don't see how not. It answers all the questions. How? God. What? I mean, how are we going to feed ourselves? What are you talking about? How you feed yourself? We've been feeding ourselves for the last 10,000s of years, taking care of ourselves, living on our own, all that right there. What are you talking about? You talking
right
about
now, brother?
You talking about political? You want the political arena to help you? We've seen what the political arena has done.
No, my brother. What I'm saying is, spirituality is okay. I do understand we do have there are levels into existence of human beings. People live in the spirit world and in the physical world. In the physical world, you have to solve poverty. You have to solve homelessness. You cannot say a man who's starving, just tell him, go pray, go back to God.
I never said that. Not,
well,
I never said that. Mbuleo, no, I've never said that. Faith without works is dead. Prayers, I mean, if you want to sit back and pray and wait and not do anything, but it is said, poverty will always be here. You will never get rid of poverty. It's just the way it is. Why? Because the greed and the sin of man. It's just how it is. We can easily feed the world with the food that we create, but it's because the evilness that be, There's starvation, murdering, slavery, all these different things, crazy things that go on into this world, wars and all that right there is because of the evilness of man. What I'm saying is that, well, you know what? If I'm going to be starving, and if I'm going to be starving, if I'm going to be out here without, I'm gonna have to try something different. I explained this to the young lady when she was talking about she prays. And I said, what do you pray? See, we got this mimic copycat carbon copy that told we supposed to pray to God and we can pray and then ask for these things. Well, hold up. Why are you praying for stuff? You know, he's saying, you know, a hungry man who prays still gonna be hungry. But what I'm saying is this right here. Look, I can pray for food and get supplied my food today. And yet I will be in that same position tomorrow. But how about I start to speak that though that I get the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding into being able to get myself into a position that the Almighty is going to have to do all that. In order, there's thousands, millions of people who's been walking through this right here, that they can give testimonies and say, I don't know exactly how God did it, but you know what? There are many people who came out of poverty. Many people came out of starvation. Were there people who died in starvation? Yeah. Many people who died in poverty? Yeah. Such is life. But what's the greatest win? Because my faith is right here. It's greater than just here on earth. But at least if I can build a relationship and my kids say, and if I happen to go and my kids and those that I leave behind can walk into this, that we are going to grow in the things of God, my vocabulary, my life, my thoughts, all of these here are greater than what we sitting around waiting on a freaking government to do what? Poverty is always going to be around. The government can't handle poverty. Yeah, they act like by putting programs to make it seem like the government is helping everybody, you know, right there. No, that's just a quick band-aid, but many people don't get that. But when you hear people who, just like this panel, are beautiful sisters who are sharing the works in the hand of the Almighty and then positioning them in places to where they were able to get themselves out. The problem of it is that very few people even walk in that. And what most people find out is that because the scriptures say you are God's, you are made in the image of, and guess who's going to have to put that work in? You're going to have to put that work in. See, many people sitting right here want to throw prayers and sit back and do this right here. They waiting on, it said that the Christ is going to return and say, see, those are those who are ignorant. You got to go out there and get it. You're going to have to go out there and navigate through by the help of the Holy Spirit that I'm saying that gave me the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding. I didn't have that when I was walking in darkness. I didn't have none of that. But the day came when I cried out and said, when I was wanting to kill myself, and I cried out and I said, if there is a God, please help me. And what that spirit fell upon me was a peace that fell upon me. I ain't speaking for nobody. I don't know what people do in their life. It ain't up for me to sit here and try to generalize everybody. Only thing I can give is what has worked for me. But I know there's going to be those who have doubts. There are those who's going to think that the government has to help. And guess what? You will be dependent for the rest of your life. You know, in the ancient writings and scriptures, you know, which is beautiful writings because you know what? Ain't nothing changed since the beginning of time. So the operation or the relationship of the Most High, man has always operated and been doing since the beginning of time, what you see today. But one thing that comes to mind is that when the children of Israel was begging for a king, and the Most High said, let me be your God. We want a king. We want a king. Why don't you just have faith in me? Why don't you just let me be your God? We want a king. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a king. And boy, did they suffer by some of the bad kings they had. There were some good kings, but guess what? A lot of them suffered under the program, the system, the government, this political parties that we are so worshiping and believe that is the helper of all, and that we keep complaining that it don't do. So you vote for another party and they still don't help you. And then you vote somebody and they still don't help you. Isn't that true? Somebody and they still don't help you. Q Cuts, you're gonna have to turn off one of your volumes.
All right. I got
somebody and they still don't help. Yeah, mute one of them, the first one. Okay, you muted yourself. Mute one of them. You got to go to that video that we were on initially and mute that one. Okay, you got to go to that video that we were on initially.
What's that? I just admit the. God damn.
You mute that one.
See, I only got two tabs.
You got two tabs. Go to your first tab and mute that one, and come back, and you'll be in the one that you just the link.
Yard tab. See, I only got
two tabs. Go to your one that you just the link.
Yard tab.
Call me back in, bro. Call back in when you get to that. So yeah, I mean, family, this is where we got to get. And I understand the man who just called, that brother just called in, that, that's where our mind is. We keep thinking, but I would ask him, did you put it to test? Did you put God's word that you can find in ancient writings to test? Did you seek God spiritually? Have you had that conversation in a long time, in private places, your secret closet? Have you put it to test? Have you checked your faith? Have you did a research within yourself to see how corrupt you are? Have you been able to cleanse out those dirty corners in your life and able to start to walk upright and be able to assess, do you see a change within your life? Not stuff. But you got the most evil people out here who got all the money and got a lot of material wealth. That don't mean nothing. There's an evil side to life too. That's the one that's the trickery that most people see with their eyes that they want to have. I want to have that. I want to have that. I want to have that. I want to be rich. Don't mean nothing. You still got your echo, brother. Life too. That's the one that's the trickery that most people. Got to come back in, Q. Just cue the one of the links and then hit that link again. And whatever tab you was in first, you have to mute that tab on the video, mute it, and then go to the link or the tab that the link brought you in. I get it, family, but we have to remove this mindset. I understand it's a trap. I had years I had to break that joker. Years. I remember for a whole year, I would challenge people and say, says who? Well, you can't do this and that. And that it's impossible. And that, they only got these programs, this and that. That woman today, listen to this. Listen to this. When I went in that jewelry store and I said, your sign says 50% on everything, because I didn't mention this before. And I challenged them, and she went to them Europeans, and they sat there and like, no. The white guy says, no, it's only certain items and stuff like that. And the sister South African was like, yeah, it's only 20% on the watches and all that right there. And I was like, nah, your sign says 50% off of everything. That woman, the other European woman who was behind the European guy, she got up and said, well, let me check to see, because they're the ones who's doing the books and all that right there. I'm quite sure they were the ones on the computers. So then the woman The sister brought me over to the counter and we're talking and everything like that. So the European woman comes over and says, okay, yes, we'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do the 50%. You know what that South African woman said? This is the first time I have ever seen them put 50% off on a watch. And I said, you don't know who I walk in. You don't know who I walk with. You don't know who is in me. You don't know who I serve. And she was like, And I told her that God and that Jesus that they told you to follow, that image, that white image and all that is a lie. You walk around talking about you a Christian. That's a lie. I'm the Baptist. I'm Presbyterian. I'm Catholic. That is a lie. That's a trap. Come out from among them. For those who wants to really be under the true living God, you got to let all that mess go. I walked away from church and religion years ago, and the Most High sent me on a journey. And I had in the Most High unraveled this crazy brain that had a lock on it from what the world had put in it. This is why it says a man is born into a world of sin, because this world will tell you stuff contrary to the Most High. But then we sit around talking about the government and it's supposed to be this way, this and that. Look, you don't know who I walk with. I have had many things that many people have said, I ain't never seen that happen. Brother, Q cuts.
Can you see me?
I can see you and hear you. You sound perfectly clear without any feedback.
All right. This is the thing I've done. When you have
Go ahead, brother. I hear you.
When you have problems, one of the things that I see with her, she wants what other people have. And I think that's the first mistake. You should never want what other people have.
Envy.
Therefore, she put her goals up here where she probably can't reach them. So for herself, what I did, I looked around me, what I have and who I have to show me and help me. She have friends that probably have the same goal in mind, and all of them can motivate each other. Start with little small goals that's obtainable, and that will give her motivation to step forward and not backwards or look left and right. Because you got to have a positive vision and a positive attitude to go forward. And little small accomplishments, step by step, can give her that motivation to move in the direction that she wants to move in. I was at a point in my life where I just wanted to learn. You know what they call dead weight? You know it, brother. I'm in the States. Had to drop that dead weight. I had to drop that dead weight. You holding me back. We graduate from high school. You not moved 5 years away yet? Nah, man. I had to let her go. I had to let him go. Yo, man, why we don't hang no more? Because my vision is different. It's broader. It's different. You know the saying, stop act your age and not your shoe size.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our brothers still do that. So I made my move like that. But what I would ask her to do, and you said it, they dangle these trinkets in front of us and make us think that we can reach them, and not knowing what you have to do to get there. And you be like, wow, that's too much. So I'm going to say, stop letting the Caucasian people motivate you to get things that you know you're going to have to probably blood, sweat, and tears to get. Get the things that you know you can help your people with, and get the things that you know you can help yourself. I follow one guy, he say, learn something and do something you can help someone that looks like you. And I would tell her, do something simple. Read a book. You know a friend that got a computer, because I had to do it before. Hey, yo, man, let me sit with you at your computer. I don't know how much you pay for your service. Boom, 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 boom. I add you this 5, 6, 7, whatever I can add to the service. So he didn't feel like I was being a along somebody just eating off of him. Because I like what you said or asked her. She said she wanted a car or she dreamed. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of us want things that other people have. And I think that's a number one mistake right there. Did I do that or did you do that?
Yep. Let me bring back.
No
You
problem.
know, no, I'm with you still. I'm with you.
Okay. And that's what I said, because you know, a lot of us, and I hear your story. I didn't hear the story where you like, you know, committed, but I heard the one where you owned a beauty supply store and how they did all of this and they did that. And you did 3 jobs. I did all the, how can I say, the sacrifice that you did to make to buy the house. You see what I'm saying? And I maybe, like you said, a lot of, I'm not gonna say ladies, a lot of people want what they can't have. It looked good to driving a Mercedes or BMW, but the cost to keep it up. You know what you got to do to obtain them things. And I will ask her to do something simple. What makes her feel good? What will motivate her to get out of the rut that she's in? That's what I would say. What will motivate her? I will encourage her to do the simplest thing that motivates her or give her motivation, gives her drive, give her determination. That's what I would motivate her to do. Something simple.
I hear you, brother. Good words, man. Good words, man, put out there in the atmosphere. And I hope those people who are listening can take advantage of those, because everybody's calling in. And this is what I'm talking about, is that these words of life that we're speaking, you know, I'll say this right here, because the brother who called in, Mbulelo, you know, you know, there are people who you can go for your riches, like you said, brother. You know, Q, cuz, and it's gonna cost you something. You know, and when you people envy other people's stuff and they try to get that stuff, see, they're gonna have stress, struggle, and strain in their life. But see, the Most High says that, you know, He doesn't add that onto those things that are given you. You don't have those things when it's done in the right spirit, because when things are done in the right spirit, meaning that you don't have envy and jealousy and all that right there, because it says that you should be content in all things, thankful where you are. It doesn't mean that you can't get you 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or you know that you want to, you know, provide for your family as your family grow. Look, we're in a 1-bedroom house. I need to go ahead and get a 2-bedroom house. Okay, no problem. Let's go. But if you just want to get a big house and a car that's costing $70,000, that's going to cost you to work 3 times as hard, then it's going to exhaust you, and there will be no joy added to it. And so you can find many people out here who don't believe in God, who's got all the stuff. But when you really have conversations with these people, they tell you it wore them out. It wore them out. That's why I'm so amazed that when I look back and the work I was doing, working 3 jobs, and I'm like, how did I do that? I wasn't really wore out. I really wasn't like, you know, just coming home and stressed. I was locked in and doing, because I knew that I was trying to provide for my family and trying to get myself into what I would call a place that would be conducive for me, my children, and my wife. And I went forward. And as long as I was following the Most High, I had the joy. I did. And I ain't gonna say that it was like, you know, when most people like it was a breeze, but it cost me. It was a sacrifice. So I appreciate you, brother, because I'm coming to a close. Appreciate your kind
No
words.
problem. I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Q Cuts is the name of the barbershop, brother. I own a shop, and you're
Okay.
inspiration, because where you're at, that's my destination. I want to travel the continent. I want to shake the people's hand. I want to learn from them. And if I can do anything to help that young lady get her a circle of friends that think like her, and they all work on small little things together. 4 people can create a small project and let it grow.
Q Cuts, where's your shop at?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, man.
Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City.
Yes,
I
that's
used
what
to
they
live there.
call.
Yes, I used to live there. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it, man. And hey, peace and blessings to you, man. And keep doing what you do.
Likewise.
All right. Hey, family, I'm telling y'all. So my thing right here, family, is this right here in closing, is that, you know, what our brother Q Cuts was saying is that he wants to come and learn and all right there. Let me share this with people. You know, here it is. When I'm in Africa, I really listen to how the locals who have little to none and how they survive. Because days will come that I may be in that position and I need to see how do you survive? Because I know how in one way to survive. Because it was the day I had nothing too. But I have to be mindful that even when we think that the things and the stuff and the money is where it's at, I'm telling you, when you know how to work and turn little into something, you know, the old story, the 5 loaves and the five loaves of bread and the 5 fish, and how, you know, the Messiah turned in and fed all these people. You know, when you have little, you know how to make it work with little to nothing. Sometimes may be the advantage than those who have money who would not, when it's gone, you don't know how to function. This is why I'm saying we can't get twisted in, oh, the system will be the answer for me to go into it and get a job and then build a life off of it. And then when it's gone, I forget how to survive. When I worked with the homeless people and I would hear their stories, I told y'all I used to have a fear of being homeless because I saw my mom and my brother and my sister. When I left them in the military, my mom, they lost a house and my mom had nowhere to go. I was trying to get the military to be able to get them as dependents so I can go ahead and, you know, have them move in with me and stuff. And the military said, no, they couldn't do that. So my mom moved in, my mom, brother, and sister moved in with my sister, had a 1-bedroom, and it's my sister, her baby, and her husband. And my mom sleeping on the couch, my brother and sister sleeping on the floor. It created a fear in me. But once I started to work with, see, this is the thing, get out there and start working with people. That's why I try to help people who don't have. Go helping in the orphanages, because this is what the word says: help the fatherless, help the widows, and help those who are in need. Because you can learn from them. When you have the conversation, to be like, wow, when the homeless people started telling me how they survive on the streets, how they make fires and how they build and or using things to be able to cook their food, or how they come across food, how they go ahead and, you know, and travel lightly and with little stuff. That's, you know, I was learning things like that along the way too. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. It don't take much money. Okay. I've learned from people who just travel, hop to hop from city to city to city. So how do you, you know, this and that? How do you keep your mind? Because some lose their mind in the mix of it. Some go to drugs, some go to alcohol. But I met the ones that say, no, I wash myself every day. I make sure that I am stayed prayed up. I try to keep the faith, and I don't get caught up in that stuff, because I know that there's a way. And those people there, when I follow up, especially when I was in Nashville, Tennessee, there were so many programs helping, and very few people wanted to take advantage of the programs. They were just only there for the moment. See, sometimes that you relinquish this to give other things inside of you, you know, to suppress the depression that you're going through because of the things maybe you lost or the position that you're at. You miss out on opportunities that are presented to you right there before your face, and you can't see it. And I learned this from those who were out there. And this is how I learned, even being in Africa. And I hear it all the time. I want to be rich. I get it, but I'm like, yo, okay, if you could be rich, you're gonna have to work it though. And when you get there, you're gonna realize wherever that limit is that's called rich, you're gonna like, okay, now I got to maintain it. Now I'm worried about how to keep it. And now I'm stressing over how to, keep this thing going. There's a trade-off for everything. There is. And that is why it's hard for a man to enter the kingdom of heaven and for a camel to enter into the eye of a needle, is because of the fact that now you've relying on your money and your wealth and all that instead of putting God and relying on. And so then that you think that money is the answer to everything, that even though scriptures say that it can be an answer to all things, but to tangible things, that's tangible. People are dying because of spiritual. Am I right? People feeling low, down, depressed. That's called poor in spirit. Blessed those who poor in spirit. How do you get that spirit up? Because you can have all the money in the world and be depressed, down and out. Come on now, we see the people on the TVs every day. That's it, family, for me. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming in. Those panels, the beautiful sisters who came in. It was awesome for the sisters to come in. Brothers came in there at the end. They ain't nothing but the Most High. And my thing is this right here, is that all that you all who have wished me a happy birthday, thank you very much for all your kind words, you speaking in the atmosphere for the blessings and the protection and all those things there that come along with what I do. I am so thankful and grateful. Thankful and grateful. And I give credit to the Most High for bringing you in this appointed time of life at times like this, for me to even speak to, and also for me to hear and learn from each and one of you all. This is an awesome thing that we should have. And I like how, things are going with this channel here, because as little by little of people coming in, this thing shall build into a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. Some people say, Go Black, seems like your channel is kind of changing. Oh, it's changing. I've lost a lot of views. I ain't worried about no views. I made a vow to the Most High years ago and said that those things that were given me, that I was blessed to me, that I would lead people into the kingdom. And these days now have come to where I have to honor my vow. If it's just one. When I started this YouTube channel, Showing Africa, I said, Lord, all I need is one to change their mindset, the perspective. So thank you very much, family, for those, all of you all. Peace and blessings for you and your day. And until next time, as permitted, this is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Good night, everybody.